Another Chamber of Commerce weather day in Denver, Colorado, as the Braves wrap up this 4-game series with the Rockies and wrap up our Western excursion today here at Coors Field. All year long, Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors, the right stuff, the low price every day. A chance for the Braves to win this series outright and head home with a 4-3 road trip. Let's see if Irvin Santana can turn the trick as the Braves wrap up their season series with the Rockies. Hi again, friends. Joe and Chip back with you. Let's recap the road trip. It started in Arizona with a date with the Diamondbacks out at Chase Field in Phoenix. The Braves dropped 2 out of 3 to the Diamondbacks, but there were some very memorable moments in that 3-game series. Most notably, Craig Kimbrell set the all-time Braves franchise saves record in Game 1 of that series. Kimbrell was absolutely terrific, and of course, Andrelton Simmons, Joe, put the squeeze on that. However, the life of a closer took an ugly turn in Game 2.
It sure did, with Craig celebrating, taking over the lead in the saves category for the Braves. He blew one the next night, and then things kind of turned sour for the Braves from then on. Extra
inning win with Gerardo Parra providing the game-winning hit. And then in Game 3, Paul Goldschmidt, the crowning blow in a 6-run 7th inning for the Diamondbacks. They beat the Braves and won the series. The final score in that one was 6-5. So then off we go to Colorado, where the Braves bats were hoping to come to life.
Yeah, you expect it to come to life when you go to Coors Field, but instead a low-scoring game in Game 1. Gavin Floyd picks up his first win as an Atlanta Brave, and a great job by him in Game 1. Then Game 2, the Braves bats did break out. 13 runs, highlighted by the grand slam there by Andrelton Simmons. Last night you felt pretty good. With Julio Teheran going against a young man making his Major League debut, not to be, as Julio had a rough night and the Braves bats were very quiet.
Braves were 17-9 at the end of April. They're 17-21 since, Joe, playing 500 ball, and they've surrendered the lead in the East.
Well, the Nationals are hot. They've won 4 in a row to take over first place. But what we said at the beginning of this road trip was that these were 2 great ballparks for the Braves offense to come to life. And with the exception of Tuesday night when the Braves scored 13 runs, they're averaging 240 on this road trip and just over 3.5 runs per game. That's not quite what we expected out of this offense in these 2 parks.
Well, hopefully Julius Chassin will give up a bunch of runs. He's winless so far this year for Colorado at 0-4. And Irvin Santana, he's pitched here before. He's given up a lot of runs, but he has won in Colorado, and we hope that will continue today. We return to Coors Field, spacious outfield dimensions. It's a challenge for the outfielders, and Tom Hart will talk about that with you when we come back in just a moment.
Coors Field as we get ready to wrap up this road trip and this trip to Coors Field. It's a gorgeous day for baseball. Welcome back, everybody. Tom Hart here at Coors Field, where the outfield leaves some room for their imagination. You see, there's plenty to cover out there. The good news is the Braves have one of the best defensive outfields in all of baseball. As you take a look at the numbers on our Academy Sports and Outdoors leaderboard, they lead the National League in ultimate zone rating. That means the outfielders go and make plays when balls are hit in their general area. They're third in the National League in defensive run saves, and they're tied for fifth in assists, and we saw another one of those already in this series. The challenge is the dimensions, obviously. B.J. Upton told me today that it leaves you scratching your head trying to determine where to play and how to play it. You see, it's 350 down the lines and 415 to center field. That leaves 390-foot gaps, and while B.J. Upton has the speed to go make plays, you have to make decisions on how to defend it. That leaves plenty of room for bloopers and bleeders, flips and floaters that fall in front of outfielders that are trying to stay back to keep base hits from getting over their head. Last night, the Rockies had 13 hits. 3 of those went for extra bases, a triple, and a pair of doubles, but no home runs. B.J. Upton still shaking his head, trying to figure out exactly how to play these Rockies in this big ballpark.
Yeah, no, this is, I think because the gaps are so big here, you just kind of don't know what to do. You just kind of go out there and it's kind of like no man's land. You just play it. I don't know.
And with Jordan Schaefer getting the start in left field today, the Braves have plenty of speed out there. Here's one more stat for you. The Braves lead all of baseball in outs recorded on balls hit 350 feet. That means they have outfielders who not only can go get the ball, but they do go get the ball. That may be an issue again here today on a beautiful day for baseball in Coors Field, where the ball just flies. Ervin Santana was magic early. Can he regain that? We'll see as he takes on the Rockies in the finale. Chip and Joe will have a look at the lineups and first pitch right after this.
If the Braves win today against the Rockies, we certainly will have one of those as we wrap up our season series and this 4-game series with the Rockies here at Coors Field. Ervin Santana readying for his assignment today. He'll try to beat the Rockies and earn his 6th victory of the season. Colorado will send Julius Chassin to the mound to face this Toyota starting lineup as presented by Braves manager Freddie Gonzalez. It is a little different. Chris Johnson's in the cleanup spot today. No Evan Gattis and no Justin Upton. A chance for Upton to continue to rest that hamstring, and he's had very little luck against Chassin in his career. Chris swinging a hot bat. Let's hope he has lots of RBI chances as the Braves try to take 3 out of 4 against this slumping Colorado ball club.
Rockies take the field. 68 degrees here at game time. Beautiful day. Very little wind. And Julius Chassin is on the mound for his 8th start of the year. He is 0-4 with a 5.35 ERA. Now here's the great comparison. As you see, the Rockies are scoring a ton of runs, but for everybody except Mr. Chassin, he'd like to see if they could get some runs across for him. He only has 7 starts on the year because he missed the first month of the season with a sore shoulder and has been slow to come back. That leads us to our 4 keys for pitching success today for Julius Chassin out of the Dominican Republic. 26 years old, 6'3", 215. Number 1, his velo's down. Well, that's a modern term for velocity or for his fastball. His velo is down because of his sore shoulder. And while he's normally around 85 to 92, he's topping out at about 88 to 90 right now. And where's the O? Yeah, he'd like to know where the offense is when he pitches. He hopes that changes for him today.
Walt Weiss is the Colorado skipper. The Rockies are 30-35 on the year. They too are leaving town after the game. They will head west. They've got a date with the Giants and the Dodgers coming up. The Braves are home for the Angels and Phillies for 6 games at Turner Field starting tomorrow night. Umpiring crew is assigned by Major League Baseball today. The man behind the plate is Jordan Baker. Gabe Morales is at first. Chris Conroy is at second. Paul Emmel's the crew chief, and he'll work the third base line today. As Tom Hart said, it's a beautiful day for baseball. It's a beautiful day for anything. 68 degrees this time of year in Denver. Man, that's wonderful. No batting practice for either ball club today. Day game after the night game, and a travel day ahead. So rip it, fellas, and see what happens here in Game 4 of the set. Jason Hayward, B.J. Upton, and Freddie Freeman for the Braves in the top of the first inning. And a strike called from Chassin, and we're underway.
No BP the last 2 days. Kind of a disappointment. When you come here, you want to swing and see how far you can hit one.
Yeah, yesterday's problem, a rain shower shortly before first pitch and a couple of hours ahead of the game as well. But no trouble weather-wise, we hope, today, as Hayward rolls one foul by the Rockies dugout, and he's behind a ball and 2 strikes. Jason has 3 hits in the series. He's scored a run. And begins play with a .254 batting average.
That straight changeup from Chassin, his preference on off-speed pitches to go with his fastball. He has a slider and also a curve, but likes his changeup.
Likes to work quickly, too, and Hayward asked for time, and it was granted. Now the 2-2 pitch. Foul again. Hayward 0 for 4 last night against Tyler Matzek, who made his major league debut for the Rockies and pitched very impressively. Broken bat and a roller out to second. That'll be easy for LeMahieu. He's got it, and Hayward's retired for out number 1. B.J. Upton at 209, 5 homers, 17 knocked in. He's 3 for 12 in the series. Strike 1. And on 3 pitches, Upton's retired for the second out of the inning. First strikeout, obviously, for Chassin, who's not really a strikeout pitcher, or at least hasn't been so far this year, although in limited duty, as Joe mentioned a moment ago.
3 walks, 4 strikeouts in his last start against the Dodgers. Got a no decision, worked 6 innings. And 6 innings is a key for him. When he works 6 or more innings in his career, he's 31-17. But more impressively, he's 18-9 in this ballpark.
Fastball caught a corner. It's 0-2 for Freddie. Freeman has ordinarily loved hitting in Colorado and against the Rockies. That has not been the case in this series. Freddie is 1 for 13 in the first 3 games. That hit was a homer. And there's the change. It missed for an even count.
3 runs on 8 hits in the first game. 2 runs on 7 hits last night. That's not typical Braves production at Coors Field in those 2 games.
Another broken bat, and with the shift on, it's an easy inning for Chacin. 2 groundouts and a strikeouts gets his day started. Urban Santana hopes for similar magic when we come back. And a cool drink needed in Denver, Colorado on this spectacular Thursday afternoon for baseball. Atlanta retired in order in the top of the first. Now the Rockies come a-calling for their skipper Walt Weiss. Charlie Blackmon out of Georgia Tech leads off their Toyota starting 9. Atlanta won't have to deal with Troy Tulowitzki. He has the day off, but Josh Rutledge has had a good series. He's in at shortstop and hitting second. Corey Dickerson against the Braves has been a tough out. 7 hits, 5 RBIs, 3 runs scored, and hitting a lofty .339 for the year.
Urban Santana's 5-2, a .369 ERA on the year, but he's got to contend with Blackmon and Rutledge today, and the number 1 and 2 hitters against him all year long have been a problem. So he's going to have to work hard to keep them off the bases. His 4 keys to pitching success today: how about a better windup? His batting average against when he's in the windup is over 300. It's microscopic out of the stretch. And early command, that applies to first pitch strikes.
First pitch strike is rifled into the right field corner by Blackmon. Hayward got to it quickly, but Charlie stands at second, and the Rockies' bats are beginning to boom again. They're an injury-riddled club, but Joe, their secondary players in this series have been giving the Braves fits.
Well, Charlie Blackmon's having himself a whale of a year, and it started from day one. He is a very important cog in their offense with 11 homers and 40 RBIs. And early command, that was a fastball, but it was right in the center of the plate.
A couple of starts ago, I think that's the term you used that has been the biggest difference in Santana's first 4 victories and his work since. Missing by an inch or 2, but boy, it's made a big difference for the opponents.
Yeah, just not hitting his spots.
So he's got to do some work with the runner in scoring position right out of the gate with Josh Rutledge in the box.
There's that number with the windup versus people on base and runners in scoring position. That's when he's really at his best. But unfortunately today it's after 1 pitch.
He's quickly ahead of Rutledge. No balls, 2 strikes. He's got a 4-game hitting streak. 8 hits in those 4 games. Had a big scare last night. Remember, he was hit by the Julio Teheran pitch. Glancing blow off the shoulder that caught the bill of his helmet, and he's retired on 3 pitches on a swinging strikeout. 1 out. Justin Morneau's the batter. 10 homers, 37 knocked in. Morneau had been slumping, but picked up 3 hits and an RBI in 4 trips to the plate last night. Those were his first 3 hits of the series. Santana and Morneau have hooked up quite a bit in the past from their days in the American League. Morneau has 6 hits and 26 lifetime at bats, 3 home runs. And a grounder to second. Listello's got that, and the runner to third with 2 outs. So the Rutledge strikeout looks like a big play so far. It'll take a 2-out hit from Rosario for the Rockies to strike here in the first.
He has a home run in the series in game 2, and it was a bomb, 456 feet to straightaway center.
And I read today what they call that area in center field, and it's quite apt when you consider the distance from home plate. They call those trees out there the wilderness.
Yeah, that's good.
450-foot shot by Rosario, who yanks one foul past third. Steve right one for the catcher. A double on the first pitch, a strikeout and ground out later. Santana works to Rosario, and Laird a nice stop. Lots of speed in the Atlanta outfield with Schaefer, Upton, and Hayward left to right. And Rosario was fooled on that pitch. 1-2.
Good slider to start for Irvin, making his 12th start. Pitched a great game in Phoenix and should have gotten the win, but that was the game that Craig Kimbrell had a blown save. Braves lost in extra innings, but he went 7 innings and gave up only 1 run, and it was unearned. Oddly, only struck out 1 batter.
2-2 for Rosario, and a swing and a miss. Santana continues his great work with runners in scoring position. The Rockies don't get the ball out of the infield after a leadoff double.
Braves baseball is presented by AT&T Uverse, Delta Airlines, and Ford.
Second inning, nice bit of pitching by Santana to allow a leadoff double, and then 2 strikeouts and a ground out later. He pushes the game to a scoreless second inning. What a difference a year makes for the Braves offense. That's the subject of our Cold Hard Facts, brought to you by Frost Brewed Coors Light.
These are cold and hard compared to this date last year. The Braves were 7 games in front. Today they're a game back. And look at the difference in home runs. 25 short of last year at this same time. Almost a full run less per game.
And I think that's the biggest head scratcher of all. Maybe it's the answer as to why essentially the same personnel are not nearly as offensively productive.
And keep in mind too, you say, well, yeah, they don't have Brian McCann. Well, they didn't have Brian McCann till what, early May?
First week of May.
Yeah, so he hadn't racked up a large number of home runs at this point last year either.
One ball, one strike. And a pop fly out of play for Chris, who's had himself a terrific series. 8 hits in 13 tries and 9 hits in his last 17 at bats. Remember, Chris began the year as the Braves' cleanup man because of his ability to make consistent contact. It hasn't worked out that way, however, for Johnson. Sprays another one foul and off to our right.
Fans down the first base line and down the right field line. Got to be heads up when Chris is up.
Popped up right side. Morneau flips the old-fashioned shades down, and he's going to make the play in foul territory. 4 up, 4 down for Chacin to start his day. And there's 1 out for Tommy La Stella. We were talking with George Frazier before the ball game about Tyler Matzek and how he appeared to belong. He made a nice comment, I thought, about Tommy La Stella, who's in his second big league week.
Now, George was talking about how nobody seems to come up wide-eyed anymore. That everybody comes up feeling like they belong in the big leagues, like Matzek did last night. And I said the same thing about Tommy. He's had that same almost dark stare since the first at bat. He's very acclimated already.
He's got hits in 9 of his first 12 big league games, 6 multi-hit games in that stretch. Because he's able to put the ball in play, he's moved up to 5th in the batting order today. His good work is the subject of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot.
9 out of 12 games, that's consistent. Three for 12 in this series.
No swing. And now a 2-2 count.
Chacin threw him a couple of really good pitches, a couple of backdoor breaking balls for strikes. At least he got the call from Jordan Baker to put him in the hole.
In the air towards center, and that's going to get down for a 1-out hit. No chance for Stubbs to make that play, and La Stella, with his 4th hit of the series, went down and got one and is aboard with 1 out.
Well, I think he went to the well one too many times. He had Tommy looking for that pitch after getting the call earlier in the count. Watch how he just reached out and one-handed it. Too close to take, put it in play, dropped it in.
That'll bring up Andrelton Simmons. Grand slam in game 2. That capped the 7-run first inning for the Braves. Atlanta held on to win a wild one, 13-10. And he shoots one toward left. That ball's going to be caught. Dickerson a good running catch, and La Stella back to first with 2 out. Gerald Laird has a 6-game hitting streak. He's had some big hits in that stretch for Atlanta. He's knocked in 5 runs. Outstanding work behind the plate. So he gets a chance to play the day game after the night game.
And that's hard to do when you're only playing once a week.
Ground ball towards short. And the throw to first is in plenty of time. That's Rutledge instead of Tulowitzki, as we told you. And he handles his first chance without problem. Braves have their first hit, still no score. Denver, Colorado. The Braves and Rockies finishing up their 2014 head-to-head slate. Hits are even at 1 apiece. Time for our AT&T UVerse trivia question today. Eric Young Sr. is one of 2 players in Rockies history with 50 or more steals in a year. Can you name the other?
Center fielder.
Ellis Burks?
Yeah. It's the only guy I can think of that was.
Wasn't Larry Walker, I don't think.
No.
He may have had some 30s, but not a 50.
Wasn't
Dante Bichette?
Wasn't Vinny Castilla?
No, wasn't the Big Cat. Mike Lansing. So maybe Ellis Burks. We'll see if we're right in just a little while. Nice work by Santana. Gave up a double to Blackman on the first pitch he threw today. Then got a strikeout, a ground out to second, and another strikeout to escape first inning trouble. And this is Corey Dickerson. The Rockies are without Carlos Gonzalez. He had finger surgery. He had a tumor removed from his index finger on the left hand. They're letting this kid play every day, and he is wearing out the left center field gap. He can really hit. He's got 2. He's going to try for 3. Relay throw on target and in time.
Don't run on the gun. That was his decision. He had the ball in front of him, and Dickerson got a little greedy. He is having a great series, and he's hitting it gap to gap, but he got carried away. Especially when he had a real good idea that Andrelton Simmons is the guy going to make the relay play. Good throw from BJ to Andrelton, and then right on the bag.
Old baseball adage, don't make the first or third out at third. He was already in scoring position, but is thrown out on that terrific relay. Here's Drew Stubbs. that's ruled out a play foul. I think it'll be fascinating to see what kind of numbers this guy puts up in Colorado. Some will say, well, they're inflated by Coors Field, and perhaps that's true. But he's always been a guy that has had trouble making consistent contact at the plate. 160, 200 strikeouts in seasons with the Reds. When he puts the ball in play, as you've said, he can fly, he can hit for power. He's a terrific defensive outfielder. And his strikeouts appear to be down this year while with Colorado. He held up.
I think when the discussion of best center fielders in baseball come up and his name isn't mentioned, it's a big mistake. He ought to be in the conversation.
Didn't get a high fastball. There's the strikeout of Stubbs. 3 strikeouts for Santana to start today's play. And here's Charlie Culberson. When Nolan Arenado went down for the Rockies, it really hurt him in a couple of ways. A middle of the order bat, big time run producer, and a Gold Glove defender. So Charlie Culberson's the man who's getting most of the playing time at third base. Today's his 12th start since Arenado got hurt down in Atlanta. Cargo, Kadire, and Arenado all hurt for Colorado. What a stab by Chris Johnson. High throw and nearly a collision at first. And that retires the side. A leadoff double, a great relay for the Braves, a strikeout and ground out sends it to inning number 3 scoreless. Oh,
yep.
You know, we've never seen Evan and the Sasquatch in the same place. Another chance for Schaefer to shine in a starting assignment. He's in left today. And a butt, and it's a beaut. But Chacin with an underhanded flip gets him by a step at first.
Chacin made a nice recovery there. When he followed through, he was a little bit on the third base side. Made his break to the right. But thankfully for him, he didn't have to go very far to pick that up, and that was the difference.
Irvin Santana will bat for the first time. He's 3 for 27. He looks at a strike. He'll have a chance to reunite with his old teammates, the Angels. Braves will play Anaheim tomorrow, 7:35 first pitch. Braves live at 7 Eastern. As always, Friday night fireworks, so make your plans. The Angels are playing good ball. They bring in a whole lot of offensive weaponry to Turner Field. Albert Pujols, Mike Trout, Josh Hamilton. And strike 3 called. Santana with a little pirouette at the plate is called out. He's out number 2. That's 2 strikeouts for Chacin, who needs 2 more to get to 500.
That might have been a good one to swing at, but he was already flinching.
Back to the top we go, and Jason Hayward, he grounded out. It is 0 for 1 on the day. We talk so much about how fun this place must be as a major league hitter. If you've got good speed and gold glove skills like Hayward, even with those gigantic dimensions in the outfield, it must be a fun place to play. As the pitch popped up to the left side, who wants it? It'll be the third baseman, Culberson. He's got it, and Hayward is retired.
You know one thing for sure, there's a long way between you and anybody else you're playing with.
The Georgia Lottery. Toyota. AT&T, mobilizing your world. And 22 Jump Street.
That is the Rooftop, the newest architectural feature here at Coors Field. It has become a wildly popular place for Rockies fans to enjoy a ball game here in Denver.
Saw Roger McDowell, the pitching coach for the Braves, before the game. He had taken a pregame stroll up there to see what it looked like, and he was talking to one of the workers who said it is fabulously popular, as we've seen, and that for a Monday day game it is packed. Really? Yeah, by comparison to a Friday night game, he said it's no different, and they are loaded to the gills up there again today.
Foul back and out of play by DJ LeMahieu, the 8th place hitter for the Rockies today. Well, they converted an area of the ballpark that got very little traffic. All those seats up there. Made it a double-decker, 38,000 square foot entertainment area. Bars, restaurants, and the like. And fans just happy to stand along the rail, have a beverage, watch the ball game. And out behind the ballpark, downtown Denver, in the front range of the Rocky Mountains. As the 8th place hitters walked by Santana to start the 3rd inning, the Rockies have put the leadoff man on in every inning so far today.
Chip, they immediately saw a return on their investment. It cost them $10 million to take the seats out and put the rooftop in. One of the ways, they have a 52-foot bar that serves 20 different Colorado beers.
Tom, I think there was we were told about a ticket that you buy too that entitles you before the game. If you get here early, like for batting practice, let's say you get here early, it entitles you to 2 beverages, and then once the game starts, then it goes back to regular pricing. But those 2 are included in the price of the ticket for early arrivals.
On the backside of it, they have cabanas that, when it gets hot out here, will have spritzers, and during the winter, they have fire pits.
Swing and a miss on a bunt try, and what a scoop and tag by Simmons to get LeMahieu. Simmons has gunned down a couple of Rockies base runners today. One at 3rd, and this one on a short hop throw from Gerald Laird.
Good pitch to throw on too, and it was a hit and run play that took the bunt off. LeMahieu looks back to see if the ball was put in play, and he's in big trouble because he made sure he didn't get picked off, got a late start. And once again, the leadoff man who reaches is thrown out.
On our Zaxby's indescribably good play. So, Tom, spritzers in the summertime, fire pits when it's cold, right?
Yeah, it's perfect.
Now,
the view is incredible. Now, there were just as many people watching the baseball game last night as there were watching the Stanley Cup Finals on some of the big screens up there. I noticed they had, 5 or 6 different big screens showing games from Major League Baseball, Stanley Cup. They might be watching some soccer up there today. Now, one of them had the Rockies-Braves game on.
So, is that rooftop open year-round? Or
that's a great question.
Or when the Rockies aren't here?
I don't know the answer to that, but it's modeled after a lot of the bars and restaurants in Lodo that now feature rooftop patios.
Little flare into center field by Chacin. He couldn't make contact when LeMahieu was running. He makes some contact here, and he'll stand at first with 1 out. A walk and a hit now by the 8 and 9 hitters for Colorado.
Little hanger, looked like a cutter that just stayed up. I was just thinking that if it was patterned after Lodo, how ironic that once the game starts and the cost of those beverages goes up, that suddenly you are Lodo or low ondo.
It looks like it's been here since the place opened. That's impressive too. Here's Blackman. He doubled to right and was left stranded in the Colorado first. Rockies gotten, if I remember correctly, a lot of mileage out of the bottom of their lineup in this series. Now Blackman will try to chase home his pitcher, Chacin, who stands at first. 1 ball, 1 strike. Fly ball belted deep right. Will he keep it fair? Yes, he will. "12 home runs for Blackman.
He once hit 11 homers in the minor leagues for a full season at Tulsa. That was in 337 at-bats. In 2011 at Colorado Springs, 243 at-bats, he hit 10. And he's already got 12 this year in the leadoff spot for the Rocks.
Which is the most ever in the history of this franchise. And the Rockies today are just playing their 66th game. He's going to obliterate Dexter Fowler's old mark of 9 before it's all said and done. And Santana, a walk, a single, and a 2-run homer gives the Rockies a 2-0 lead with 1 out. Or the caught stealing looking bigger in the inning. And that's outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, the pitcher's single too.
Yeah.
Solo homers don't typically beat you here, neither do 2-run homers, but the pitcher reaching hurt.
Rutledge has struck out for a second time. Santana's 4th in the game. And 2 men are out. In today's game, we are participating in the Home Run Challenge. Every home run hit today raises $6,000 for prostate cancer research. You can make a pledge by going online to homerunchallenge.org. A strike, 2 more no. Who can't believe it? He looks down at Paul Emmel at third base. The Rockies have had a disappointing homestand. They're 2-7. They too would like to hit the road on a winning note for Walt Weiss.
I believe 3 of those losses were to the Diamondbacks right before Atlanta played Arizona.
Yeah, Arizona came in and just blasted away. They scored a ton of runs against Colorado. And came home and took 2 out of 3 against the Braves. The strike. Arizona's in Houston a little bit later on. The Astros are playing good ball. Still a ways to go, but entertaining team now for Bo Porter and the Stros. A 2-run homer by Charlie Blackmon in the 3rd inning gives the Rockies a 2-0 lead. There's your Delta Airlines on deck trio for the 4th. Run homer by Charlie Blackmon gives Julius Chassin an early lead. It's now time for you to tweet your photo using hashtag SouthFanPhoto for a chance to have it shown in an upcoming broadcast. That's brought to you by our friends at AT&T. Here in the 4th inning, Upton, Freeman, and Chris Johnson.
I was teasing Charlie Blackmon earlier in this series about he looks like a guy that ought to be on a cough drop box. If I were he, I would not even think about trimming that beard or cutting it. The way he's going.
So Chassin, who Hasn't been getting many runs, has 2 to play with, and a bunt try by Upton. Chacin fields another one well. And BJ's retired. He got Schaefer, he's gotten Upton now. There's out number 1. And Freddie Freeman's the batter.
So far, this is looking pretty good for Chacin. He has 1 put out in the outfield. And that was a fly ball to left by Andrelton Simmons that Dickerson had to come in on.
The wind is blowing in today in Denver. Looks to be blowing in pretty briskly.
Last year, only Adam Wainwright recorded more double plays behind him than Chacin. He was second in the league. GBG, ground ball guy.
With 30 double play balls. Another chance at second. Another ground ball out. 2 outs. Freeman retired. Whatever he's doing today, I'm sure, is something they would love to clone for the rest of their pitching staff. If he can pitch like this and the others can join in on the fun, the Rockies would all of a sudden have a very potent ball club.
We showed that run support number for him, the lowest on their staff, and he has 2 already. This is a wealth of riches for him already to have of support.
Rockies come into today's play with a staff ERA of 4.66. That has been and probably always will be their biggest challenge, how to pitch effectively and consistently at altitude here in Denver. Chris Johnson swings and misses. That's strikeout number 499 in Chacin's career, and he set down 8 straight with a 2-run lead. Nothing lead behind Julius Chacin. Here's your chance to travel like a VIP to Turner Field aboard the Fox Sports Fan Express. Book your Braves group tickets for 30 fans or more, and your group can have complimentary use of Fan Express to travel to and from the ball game. Ticket packages are available at braves.com/fanexpress.
Right outside the ballpark, all roads lead to Coors Field. Another huge crowd here.
One and only chance for Braves fans in the Mountain Time Zone to see Atlanta here in Denver. And A good number of them have turned out for a perfect day for baseball, with Willie Rosario, Dickerson, and Stubbs coming up. To short. Simmons scoops and throws his man out. One down. We'll keep you updated on the Nationals game today. They're in San Francisco to face the Giants.
And Tim Hudson,
who has always pitched well against Washington. You recall his great work as a Brave against the Nationals. Tim is 16-5 all time against Washington, and has set a Giants franchise record that I'll tell you about in a second.
Already?
Already. Corey Dickerson pops it up. Laird and Johnson. It'll be Chris who makes the basket catch. And there's out number 2. Tim Hudson is the first pitcher in Giants history with an ERA under 2 after 12 starts.
Wow.
Think about the great pitchers they've had.
Marichal comes to mind.
Right.
That's pretty impressive. And I know he hadn't been walking anybody.
So he'll try to slow down the Nationals, who are going for a 4-game sweep against the team with the best record in baseball. Nationals have moved into first place by winning 10 of their last 12 ball games. Speaking of not walking anybody, in the last 12 games, Washington's starting pitchers have walked 1 batter.
No fooling. That's unbelievable. That staff.
Drew Stubbs. And he takes a strike.
The Nationals are 11-5 against the West.
Braves have struggled against the West, most notably the Giants. Nevada enters play today 6-9 against the Western Division. Line drive to right. Hayward makes a fine play. A sinking line drive grabbed by Jason Hayward, and the Rockies are done in order in the home half of the 4th inning. Jason Hayward continues to play his terrific Gold Glove caliber defense in Denver today. Beaten the Braves. He leads Atlanta 2-0 as we head to the 5th inning. He has set down the last 8 Braves in order. That changes with the first pitch of the inning. LaStella cracks one to the fence in right. Blackman played it well. The throw to second off target, and Tommy LaStella has another multi-hit game. He's 2 for 2, and he's in scoring position to start the Braves' fifth.
Boy, did he go down and rake this one. That ball jumped off his bat. Target was away. The pitch was down and in, and he just launched it so hard, in fact, that Blackman couldn't cut it off. He was thinking he could hold him to a single and didn't. His head going down on that pitch too. Great swing by LaStella.
First big league double for Tommy. He has both Atlanta hits. And now Andrelton Simmons will try to move him along. As Joe mentioned, fly balls have been few and far between from Chacin today. Simmons has the only fly out for Atlanta's offense. Everything else on the ground or in Rosario's glove. Bouncer foul at third. Andrelton behind 0-2.
Andrelton hit that grand slam in game 2. He's 1 for 7 since, and you just hope that he doesn't start thinking home run too much, which we've seen happen before after he's hit a homer. 1 for 7 is a very small sample size, of course, but I'm going back to some recollections of other times where he's hit a homer and all of a sudden thought he ought to hit it 4 or 5. Day games have not been kind to the Braves offensively. The team's 9 and 11 in day games, but offensively barely a 200 average compared to 256 at night, and a half a run less per game during the day. I don't have a smart answer for why.
Broken bat pop. That's going to be caught by Rutledge at short. And Simmons is out number 1.
Other than to say that most modern day players, don't like day games. They like their routine of sleeping late, getting to the ballpark, mid-afternoon, doing their work, and having the routine of the game starting at 7:10 or 7:30, whatever time the local game might start.
Did you have a preference?
Love day games. Love day games. Love playing when it was hot. It's like that was the way it was meant to be played. I didn't mind. I didn't dislike night games, but I love day games.
LaStella doubled to start the inning. Simmons popped out to short. Gerald Laird rolled out to short as well. 2-0 Colorado, 5th inning.
Another good changeup.
Breaking ball caught a corner. He's mixing it up well today. 1-2. He may have liked the result better than the location of that pitch. Schaefer on deck. Now Laird has to protect the plate. And he couldn't. He didn't get a sweeping slider. And that's strikeout number 500 for Chacin. And there's the second out of the inning. And that ball will head to the trophy case.
Change up, curveball, slider. That one nowhere near the plate. And a milestone for Chacin.
500 big league strikeouts. Schaefer tries to pick up a 2-out hit.
Going back to that game where the Braves scored 13 runs on Tuesday night, they did not score in their last 3 innings of that ball game. They scored 2 last night and have not scored today. That's 2 runs in their last 16 2/3 innings at Coors Field.
That has to be cause for concern.
That would be cause for concern for me against a guy making his major league debut and against a guy who's 0-4 this year with an ERA over 5.
And we showed you earlier the difference between the Braves offense last year on this date and this year on this date. Huge difference in home runs hit. There's one reason why the offense isn't as productive. As Schaefer grounds to second, and that'll retire the side. The Braves got a leadoff double and couldn't bring him home. Atlanta's hitting with runners in scoring position has not been all that hot this year either. 2-0 game.
The Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.
Braves got a leadoff double but couldn't cash it in and trailed 2-0 in the home half of the 5th inning.
Now, see, I like that couple just before. Ice cream and the popcorn. If you need a little salty or something, you know, just dip the ice cream in the popcorn.
So Santana back to work with the bottom part of the Rockies order coming up. The Braves are home to take on the Angels beginning tomorrow night. Saturday night, a game on Big Fox. Sunday, ESPN. We're with you 7:35 first pitch tomorrow night. It's Father's Day weekend. Bring Dad to the ball games if you can. Dads and kids can run the bases on Sunday night after the series concludes. Get your Braves Angels tickets at Braves.com. Culberson, LeMahieu, and Chacin coming up in the 5th. And Santana delivers a strike. First finals in the league are in today. The Reds beat the Dodgers 4-1, and the Phillies knocked off San Diego 7-3.
There's appeared to be a little venom in the pitches from Urban Santana following the homer. He's amped it up a little bit.
That was a nasty pitch. That's his 6th strikeout. And he's retired 6 straight hitters. Good point, Joe. That's 3 strikeouts after the homer.
He's airing the fastball out.
Well, DJ LeMahieu earned a base on balls his first time up. That equals his career high. 19 of them.
We were talking about Culberson, who just fanned and trying to figure out a way to fill in for Arenado.
Simmons at short, glides to his right, and fires to first.
You got to figure right now that unless Tulowitzki's not playing, which he's not today, that they're going to move LeMahieu to third base and have Rutledge play second, because Rutledge is swinging a red hot bat. Just go with the hot hand. But with Tulo out of there today, Culberson got the start.
2 outs, bases empty for Chacin, who singled and scored ahead of the Charlie Blackmon homer. The men hitting 9th on the lineup card for the Rockies, pitchers and pinch hitters, are 5 for 11 in this series. The Rockies pitchers are 4 for 8.
No kidding.
So the bottom of the order has fed the top beautifully for Colorado, and that was the case in the fateful third for Irvin Santana. And a swing and a miss. 7 strikeouts for Santana. He retires the Rockies in order in the 5th. He'll take matters into his hands in the top of the 6th. At Coors Field, inside civilization, Colorado leads 2-0 as we head to the 6th inning. All year long, Braves baseball is brought to you by Academy Sports and Outdoors. The right stuff, the low price, every day.
That thing moves a lot of water.
You gotta stock that thing with trout and let fans go in there with a fly line, man.
I can't believe Tom's not out there waiting in it. But times have changed.
The only place Tom's brave enough to wait is the Clevelanders, we know.
Yeah, he's knee deep in it out there.
Yes, he is. So Chacin back to work. 2 runs have been enough for him today. He's struck out 4. He's scattered 2 hits, both of them to Tommy La Stella. The rest of the Braves club has done nothing. And Irvin Santana leads it off. That's a roller foul past Doug DeCenzo, the Braves third base coach. He's been a lonely man of late. Good to see him shaking some hands today.
Yeah, he had to ice his arm down on Tuesday night.
And a swing and a miss. Santana's retired. That's 5 strikeouts for Chacin. He set down 4 in a row after the La Stella double to start the 5th. Jason's 0 for 2. He's grounded out and popped out. No hits in his last 11 at bats now. But still, since May 9th, Jason's been a revelation in the leadoff spot for the Braves. He's been on base with a hit or walk in 27 of his last 30 games. He put a charge into that ball and laced it foul to the right. Strike 1.
I said the other day that I'm really enjoying watching him play, and he's doing it on both sides of the baseball. But the other side of it, the other part of it for him is that it looks like he's having fun playing, and for a change, being healthy. And even though he got up to a slow start offensively, and just knowing he's healthy, what a plus in his mind that I'm good to go.
That ball's hit a long way the other way. Stubbs, though, on the run, will reach up and grab it. And that's out number 2. And that's another one of the ultimate chicken and egg things in baseball. Everybody who's at this level has confidence, right? But in a game of failure, that confidence gets shaken from time to time. So success breeds confidence, or does confidence breed success?
My answer is yes.
What are you, running for office or something? Come on. But what we saw to Jason,
it's the success. You've got to, no matter how good you think you are and how much confidence you have, if you don't have some good results, none of that's going to work.
Back to the mound off the bat of B.J. Upton, and Chacin takes care of that. 3 up, 3 down again. A 2-hit shutout by Chacin working in Denver today.
Baseball is brought to you by Dodge, Georgia Power, The Home Depot, and Zaxby's Indescribably Good.
Inning number 6 in Denver. Somehow, someway, Irvin Santana's got to figure out how to retire Charlie Blackmon. He's got 2 hits, and at this point, the decisive blow in the game, a 2-run homer to right.
He had been 0 for 9 in this series.
Blackman resides in Warwick, Georgia. He was a second-round pick in 2008 out of Georgia Tech. Debuted with the Rockies in 2011. And a broken bat out towards second. Tommy's got it, and the throw to first in time, and there's a good start. Leadoff man retired in the 6th.
I asked today if Todd Helton came around much in his first year of retirement. I was told no, that he was kind of part of his plan, that he wanted some separation between playing and not playing, of course. But they are going to retire his number in August.
Really good. It is odd. I'm sure opponents of the Braves feel the same way when they come to Atlanta or see the Braves without Chipper Jones or Don Lavin or John Smoltz, for example. It seems odd to not see Todd Helton here in Colorado. And I sure hope he gets his due when it comes to the Hall of Fame vote that will be coming in the next 4 years or so for Todd Helton. He was a great hitter.
Well, I hope he does too. I'd certainly vote for him if I had a vote.
Broken bat by Rutledge out to short. Simmons, strong arm, needed it to get him by a half step. 2 out.
But I think what it will do in 5 years is tell everybody what the writers' impressions are of the players who come and play in Coors Field. I think that will have our first glimpse of the voting and how that will be impacted.
And is there an advantage for hitters here? Absolutely. Did Todd Helton sign here as a free agent? Absolutely not. He was drafted, developed, and brought to the big leagues by the Rockies and chose to stay here. As Morneau hits, so how do you penalize him for the fates putting Todd Helton in a Colorado uniform? Don't know that that's fair either. High, towering fly ball deep right. That's headed for the fence. Hayward tries to measure it up and can't get it. It's in the Braves bullpen. We told you earlier, Morneau has seen Santana a lot, and that's his 4th homer against Urban. A solo shot makes it 3-0 Rockies.
Braves have kept him under control too the first 2 games of the series, and he broke out last night and turned on a fastball. We were talking about Irvin's fastball really having a little more giddy up to it the last couple of innings, but he got that one.
11 homers for Morneau, and the hole a little deeper for the Braves now. It's 3-0 Rockies. Rosario swings and misses.
Upon further review, the truck tells me, and Sam tells me, that pitch was 86 miles an hour, which would indicate that wasn't a fastball but a straight change that from our center field camera looked like a fastball.
It was a majestic, towering home run. You can see Jason tracking that ball as he made his way from right field toward right center. He was thinking about making a leaping try, but he had no play. And a swing and a miss. Santana strikes out Rosario for a second time, but not before Justin Morneau hits a solo homer. Braves have got to shake off the offensive cobwebs. Freddie Freeman starts the Braves 7th, down 3-0 next. 7th inning. Freeman, Johnson, and LaStella up for Atlanta. We invite you to spend your summer at Turner Field this year. The Braves have great family events all summer long. Friday night fireworks, kids can run the bases on Sundays, post-game concerts, and a whole lot more. Check out all the Braves promotions and ticket deals at Braves.com today.
Back to the shift on Freddie. What would Harry say here?
You know,
but let's get some runs.
Rooftop spelled backwards. Oh, no, he'd say, let's get some runs.
Yes, he would. Sorry, I led you around the wrong path there. He might be at the rooftop.
Good point. Got to get Freddie going, man. We all have, and he has such high standards for his offensive production. He has been, again, by the great numbers he put up last year, rather ordinary offensively. That's meant with no disrespect. 17 RBIs for Freeman in the last 35 games. That's not like him.
Five for 29 on the road trip.
17 RBIs in April, 18 since. And that has come at a time, at least the last month plus, as a ground ball is hit out to the right side of the infield. Morneau with the play at first for out number 1. In April, neither Upton nor Hayward were doing much offensively. In May and the first few days of June, Hayward's been on base a lot and Upton's been a whole lot better. Yet Freddie hasn't been able to drive many of those opportunities home. That's the frustrating part for the Braves offense.
Yeah, you can't get that top part to click together.
So Culberson was the man that made that play on the first base side of the second base bag. That's officially a 5-3 putout, even though it was hit to the right side of the infield. Here's Chris Johnson.
Yeah, but me and my memory, if I come back and look at that, you know, and see where he's been hitting the ball and try to draw some conclusions, if I write 5-3, I'm going to think somehow, well, he went the other way on that. So if I don't write 4-3, then I'm toast. Freddie's even changed his spot.
That's the old Bobby Cox trick.
Yeah.
At the other end of the dugout, see if it changes the luck. It's 3-2. Well, some good news today. The Giants have jumped in front of Washington. That's always welcome. Tim Hudson trying to help the Giants avoid a sweep. They lead 2-0. I think that's Blake Trinan pitching for the Nationals today. And Johnson takes a walk. He's aboard with 1 out. And the man that has both Atlanta hits is going to stand in. That's Tommy LaStella.
Well, that's a good sign. I mean, Chris Johnson's been walking a lot lately. That's one.
May 14th was the last time Chris Johnson earned a base on balls.
You're kidding.
No.
Well, he didn't go a month.
25 games between walks for Chris Johnson. And LaStella goes around.
It's also Chacin's first 3-ball count. They have tried that corner so many times, a couple of times with success. One that he got a base hit on down and away. And Tommy's putting his nose right down there on it to get a good look at it.
Snap throw to first and close. Chris Johnson got back just ahead of the throw by Willing Rosario.
Well, was that a quick snap throw? Ball was in the dirt too. Just back in time.
Two and two.
Thought that nicked him.
I did too. It did. And just dropped out of the glove of Rosario. Otherwise, that would have been an out. Break for La Stella, who draws a walk. Back-to-back base on balls for the Braves. La Stella continues his perfect day.
Adam Ottavino is warming up in their bullpen. And as I told you earlier, when this guy goes 6 innings or better, he's 18-9 in this ballpark. And while he's looking for his first win of the season, he's pitching in the 7th, and after a couple of walks, well, it's not going to be Walt Weiss. It's going to be Jim Wright, the pitching coach. Maybe to get Ottavino just a little more time.
So a chat on the mound here at Coors Field, and we'll remind you that June 14th is the Braves' Wives Mystery Brown Bag Fundraiser when the Braves take on the Angels. Buy a mystery baseball signed by a current Braves player for $40 and help raise money to benefit Alabama tornado relief efforts. Go to Braves.com today.
Always a good fundraiser, a lot of fun for the fans, I think. Kind of buying, well, you're buying an autographed baseball, but you don't know from who. It's kind of exciting to open up that Christmas present.
Yeah, and even more importantly, you're helping our friends in Braves country in Alabama who have been hit so hard these last couple of years with those devastating spring tornadoes and storms. So great work as always by the Braves' wives, and we look forward to getting back home in time for tomorrow night's 7:35 start. 2 on for Simmons, 1 out. Andrelton's 0 for 2. Braves today are 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. They came into play with a .244 mark with runners at second and third base this year. Ground ball slowly towards short. Flip to second for 1. The turn to first, a double play. Chacin gets out of the 7th inning. A couple of walks and no luck for Atlanta. Rockies 3, Braves nothing.
Coors Field, final day here. We told you before the game how great the Braves outfield has been playing. Well, no one's been playing better than Yoenis Cespedes of the Oakland A's. This throw that he made the other night was amazing in a variety of different ways, not the least of which is it saved the game for him. It was a 1-1 game in the 8th inning. This throw was made from 318 feet from home plate. It took 3.17 seconds to get to the plate, and it came out of his hands at 99 miles an hour. Here's the interesting thing. It was broken down by Alan Nathan of Baseball Perspective. He did the physics of it. The launch angle coming out of his hand was 12 to 14 degrees. It reached 32 feet at its highest peak. Why does that matter? If he was off by 1 degree plus or minus, the throw would have been off by 6 feet by the time it reached home plate. I talked to B.J. Upton before the game today about throws in from the outfield, especially his assist to second base the other day. And he said many times you're just turning and throwing to a spot. You don't have time to aim. I knew in the back of my mind where second base was. I was just turning my body and throwing, and the throw takes care of itself. But if you're off by just a fraction of an inch when it leaves your hand, you got no chance to get the base runner.
That is great, Tom. And just to think that if it's off just that micro amount, that you got no shot. That was it. Very interesting.
It is cool working with Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah, it is.
Down to the sidelines. And we will see Cespedes and the A's later on this year. Braves will play Oakland during interleague play.
They're good.
They are good. They lead the West by 3.5 over the Angels.
Best record in the American League.
After that throw that Tom highlighted a second ago, the Angels on Twitter had a tweet that basically said, "Okay, Cespedes, we get it. You have a great arm." And he threw out Albert Pujols yesterday. As a little looper is going to reach center field off the bat of Corey Dickerson. He's going to try for 2, and he's going to be safe. He has been aggressive on the base paths. Remember, he was thrown out trying to stretch a double into a triple, and he beat the wrap here on a close play to start the 7th.
Well, again, look how deep BJ is playing, and when he hits it, Dickerson is off to the races knowing he might have a chance for a double. Not so with B.J. Upton. He's got to know in this ballpark, when one gets blooped like this, you have to go on a dead level sprint, prevent it from being a single because you have so much ground to cover.
So let me ask you this, as an outfielder in this ballpark, what do you gain by playing deeper here? If you're in 5 or 6 feet, anything over your head's going to be for extra bases anyway, right?
More than likely, unless you're Drew Stubbs, who can cover it and has a lot of confidence in himself going back on balls, as we've seen in this series already. But you've got to find a happy medium. You can't play too shallow. You can't play too deep. If you play too deep, you're going to give up so many of those little bloop hits. Those are going to drop in anyway, but they're turning into doubles in this series.
There you see the altitude-induced dimensions here at Coors Field. 415 to straightaway center. And from our vantage point, I'm guessing BJ is what, 20, 25 feet from the center field fence? Playing that deeply?
I'd say, yeah, that's about right. Maybe a little deep, maybe a little shallower than that. It's not so much the difficulty in figuring out how deep you got to play each guy. It's just knowing that anything that you read is going to be hit in front of you, you've got to put on your best 40-yard dash to get to the ball to make sure it's just a single.
So Dickerson at second with a double, and Stubbs did not go. He walks. 2 on, nobody out. Rockies lead by 3.
They have 6 hits today and only one's a single.
And Jordan Walden is up and throwing in the Braves bullpen. Dickerson has 2 hits. The Braves have 2 hits. Rockies have hit 2 homers. Blackman's hit a 2-run shot. Morneau a solo shot in the 6th, and they threaten again here in the 7th. Culberson pops up a bunt, and no play for Laird. Just out of reach. Gerald. Strike 1. That went too high. 1 ball, 1 strike. The throw through is short hopped and knocked down by Simmons at second. Trying to keep Dickerson close. And now Santana's ahead of the Rockies' third baseman, a ball and 2 strikes.
Nice play by Anderson there to make sure that ball didn't get by. Stu Cole, third base coach, who spent a lot of time in the minor leagues, and good for him that he was chosen to be the third base coach for Walt Weiss.
The 1-2 pitch just missed. Interesting choice in Walt Weiss, too. Great character guy, terrific major league career. He's played for some outstanding Hall of Fame managers. He's coaching his high school team, his kid's high school team. And the Rockies say, hey, you want to manage?
I think he's got the perfect demeanor. You know, he's pretty even keel on just about everything.
Line into left field for a hit. Dickerson had to hold up to make sure it wasn't caught. Now he's going to fly around third. Schaefer's throw to the plate is dropped by Laird. The ball ends up at the backstop, and the runners move up 90 feet. It's 4-0.
Well, on top of the fact that he's been raking the Braves and can hit, Dickerson runs well too. When you've got to hold up on this to make sure it goes through like he did right there and actually lean back to second. Good throw by Jordan, and Gerald just couldn't hang on to it. Oh, in fact, he just flat out missed it. That was a perfect throw, and Gerald probably took his eyes off of it to check the runner. See, and that's where there's probably going to be an E8 on that, or E7 on that, and it probably ought to go to the catcher instead.
So the infield comes in for LeMahieu. The Rockies have a double, a walk, a single, and more importantly, a 4th run.
Good for the score here. He charged an E2.
Nice catch. The great Rex Barney, the old PA man with the Orioles. Give that fan a contract.
That was wonderful. Rex was terrific and a former big league pitcher himself.
Little squibber toward first. No advance by Stubbs from third. LeMahieu's out number 1. And that is going to be the end of the line for both starting pitchers. Ryan Wheeler's announced as a pinch hitter. Chacin will be taken down, as will be Irvin Santana. 4-0 Colorado. Santana leaves with a couple of men on, 1 out in the home 7th. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you in part by Jeep. You might need a Jeep to get up that steep angle in what they call the rock pile in straightaway center field. Those are the bleacher seats here in Denver. They've enjoyed the proceedings from the Rockies standpoint. 4-0 Colorado with 7 hits. Irvin Santana struck out 8, walked 2. He's allowed 4 runs, 7 hits so far in his work in Denver today, and he'll give way to Jordan Walden, who pitches for the second time since coming off the disabled list for the Braves.
Yeah, the first outing was not a good one. A third of an inning and 3 walks. He gave up a run. So a chance for him to get out there and get back in a better groove.
Chacin was terrific. 7 innings of shutout ball. He allowed 2 hits, both of them to Tommy La Stella, a couple of walks, and 5 strikeouts. And Wheeler pops up the first pitch into right field. Jason Hayward to his right. He sets. There's the grab. Runner's tag. The throw is going to be cut off by the shortstop, Andrelton Simmons. Wheeler, a sacrifice fly, scores Stubbs, and it's 5-0.
Far be it for me to question what Jason Hayward was thinking there, because he's been playing such an outstanding right field. But when you're already down 4-0, you got to try and save every run you can. And as good as his arm is, take a shot at the plate.
So the Braves aren't going to pitch to Charlie Blackmon, not as hot as he has been. They'll get after Rutledge, who's 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts today. First and second, 2 outs. I've never seen that device that Rosario's wearing on his head. And I took it off. I wonder if it's a cooling device or maybe some padding for his helmet. Wrapped around head, neck. Like a neoprene sleeve of some sort. Never seen that before.
Me neither. Might be a cooling device.
One ball, 1 strike for Rutledge. Back where it came from, that got a piece of Walden. And all hands are safe. We've seen a couple of those in this series, haven't we?
We have indeed. I didn't see that catch any leather, but he tells Gerald Laird he's okay. Thank goodness it did hit the glove. It was headed right for his face. Whew.
So here's Morneau with the bases loaded. He's hit in this situation a lot in this series. Juan Nicasio had a comebacker, nearly hit him in game 2 of the series. Walden gets leather on Rutledge's blast. And now base hit up the middle by Morneau. That's going to score Culberson. Here comes Blackmon around to score. Runners are at first and third for the Rockies. 3 RBI game for Morneau.
Walden's return has not been the way he had planned it. This ball's barely above the dirt, and Morneau got the barrel on it.
So close the book on Irvin Santana. 6 runs earned in 6 1/3 innings. His ERA in the last 6 games now well over 6. And that one gets away from Laird. That'll bounce to the Rockies dugout and score another run. Rutledge trots home. Morneau at second. And while we have concentrated, and justifiably so, on the offensive struggles for the Braves, Atlanta's bullpen the last couple of weeks has taken some severe beatings too.
It has. It has indeed. Slider and Gerald, it hit on the edge of the plate, that beveled edge of the plate, and scooted under his glove, although he had his glove turned to a backhand. When it hits that edge of the plate, it can go anywhere and then hit his shin guard.
So what's been disheartening too, the last 15 games, the Braves have blown 4 saves, an ERA over 5, and they've let some leads slip away. They haven't had a chance today, as the Rockies have blown the game open with a 5-run 7th inning. They bat around in the inning, and batter Santana and Walden. 8-0 Rockies. We go to the 8th. In his first 2 appearances since coming off the disabled list, and the Rockies have busted the game wide open. As we promised you earlier today, we have our AT&T fan photo of the game. Tweet your photo to #SouthFanPhoto for a chance to be shown in an upcoming game broadcast. That's brought to you by AT&T. Braves had high hopes today against Julius Chacin, who was winless in his head-to-head career with the Braves and winless on the season. He has a whopping 8-run advantage and turns things over to Adam Ottavino out of the Colorado pen.
This guy throws hard and has a slider, and he's been very effective for Colorado. His 29 strikeouts, the most among the relievers. And he's one of 7 National League relievers who have faced at least 100 batters and has 5 or fewer walks.
Have to have control if you're pitching out of the bullpen in this ballpark. Have to.
He's pretty deceptive too, throwing across his body the way he does. Hard to pick up. It's
in at the knees. Ottavino came up with the Cardinals. He was a starting pitcher for St. Louis. Colorado got him on a waiver claim. And for the man who has impeccable control, he's now behind in the count, 3 balls and a strike. Ottavino attended Northeastern University. And when he was drafted by the Cardinals, he was the second highest major league draft pick in Northeastern history. Carlos Pena, remember him?
Sure.
10th overall pick in Texas in 1998, was the highest drafted Northeastern player. And he missed high. Gerald Laird takes a walk, and Ottavino thought that should have been called a strike. Did the Braves get a break?
So did Rosario, who's now talking to Jordan Baker, and we check out the PNC Bank pitch tracks, and they had a beef.
Jordan Schaefer stands in. Schaefer is 0 for 2. Ryan Domit has grabbed a bat. He stands on deck. Back up the middle, right at the second base bag. And with Schaefer's speed, no chance for the double play. So Laird is forced out, 6 unassisted. Schaefer at first, and Domit will hit with 1 out.
Rutledge just couldn't stop fast enough to get his foot on the bag and then get the throw over there in time. And certainly, as you said, with Jordan running, that was going to be a tough handle.
So Jordan Walden, 2/3 of an inning, 2 hits, 2 runs, a walk. .259 mark translates to 7 for 27. Ball 2.
David Carpenter loosening up. Looks like he'll be next for Atlanta and a chance to right his ship.
Popped up left side. Culberson in foul ground near the railing by the Braves dugout. Runs out of room. Wind might have helped Domit there. It was, and has been, blowing in all day today. We're in the 8th. I'm concerned about the offense. The Braves have 2 hits in Coors Field today. They had 2 runs last night. They scored 3 times in game 1.
Now the game 2 blowout with 13 runs has kind of skewed the average runs in this game, in this series.
Runner goes, ground ball to second. Keep the Braves out of a double play. Schaefer in safely after Domit rolls out. And we go back to the top of the order in Hayward. Tough times right now for the Braves offense. It's not going to be any easier with the Angels coming to town. The Angels have the 4th best ERA in the American League at 3.83. Rest day for Justin Upton. Rest day for Evan Gattis today. There's a shot deep to right by Hayward. Did he hit it high enough? It's off the top of the fence. It's a long single for Jason Hayward. That spoils the shutout bid. Schaefer scores, and the Braves are on the board. It's 8-1.
That ball was smoked. Hanging slider. Jason came out of the box in good shape, but Charlie Blackmon played this one perfectly off the wall, and it got there so fast. Jason had no chance of going for two, especially down 8-1.
I don't think I've ever seen a 390-foot single. But Hayward will take it for his 23rd run batted in. Braves have scored. B.J. Upton the hitter. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Hayward aboard for the 28th time in his last 31 games. He has been a brilliant offensive bright spot for the past month. Braves got a break with Gerald Laird. He walked on a pitch that appeared to be a strike. So he's worked overtime, and now 3-2. Upton drives one toward left field. That's pretty well hit. Dickerson back on the warning track, and that one's going to go. B.J. Upton has hit a 2-run homer for the Braves. No lead is safe at Coors Field. The Braves are within 5 now.
Good at bat by B.J. Fought off a couple of pitches from this tough right-hander. And the Braves haven't hit many balls in the air today. Another hanging slider from Ottavino. And that's going to do it for Ottavino.
Let's see if he takes a look at the home plate umpire on his way out. Yep. He did. Jordan Baker heard none of that as Upton parks a homer. 3 across in the Atlanta 8th. It's now an 8-3 score. Two hits and 3 runs in the 8th inning alone. They've made it an 8-3 game. Bases empty and 2 outs after B.J. Upton's long home run to left field. We are back home in Atlanta tomorrow night for the Angels. We hope you'll join us at 7 for Braves Live and those Chevron pitching probables.
C.J. Wilson already a 7-game winner for the Halos. Aaron Harang's 4-5 record, very deceiving. He certainly could have a winning record, and even a good winning record with a little run support.
This is Rex Brothers. He's been busy, already 33 appearances for the Rockies left-handed relief pitcher. Three ground ball outs by Freddie Freeman today. 1 for 16 in this series.
He pitched in game 1, did Brothers. Walked a batter and then struck out the next 3. He got the last out in the 13-10 win for the Braves. Only a third of an inning.
All free passes are accepted in this ballpark. And remember, Justin Upton and Evan Gattis are available off the Braves bench, meaning Freddie Gonzalez can use them at his discretion should the game situation warrant that. It's a strike.
It was a good pitch. He threw that right at Freddie and made him freeze. He had it break in for a strike.
Johnson hopes to hit with Freddie Freeman aboard. And he will. Ottavino walked the first man he faced in the inning. Brothers walks Freddie Freeman.
I'll send Walt Weiss to either the bubble gum or the cooler. Those tack-on runs the Rockies got in the bottom of the 7th, so big right now.
Five runs in the 7th. The difference in the game. 8-3 Colorado leads. Chris Johnson 0 for 2 with a walk, his first walker since May 14th. He's in a 2-strike hole. I don't think that ever had the plate.
I had Rutledge moving to the dugout from shortstop, but on our PNC Bank pitch tracks, Rutledge's angle was a bad one.
Two and two. Rockies bullpen has been leaky too. 2 losses and a 7-point ERA this month. Ottavino allowed 3. Nick Massett getting ready if needed. To short, and the peg will be made to first base, and that will retire the side. The Braves get 3 runs. The big blow, B.J. Upton's first homer since late May against Milwaukee. His 6th home run of the season, part of a 3-run Atlanta 8th. It's now an 8-3 Colorado game. bottom of the 8th inning. It's an 8-3 score. And it's time for today's Home Depot tools from the dugout.
Things were cooking right along at 17-7. Great run differential, but since then it has been a real fight. 6 games under 500 and outscored by 24 runs over that stretch. That's not a lot. I mean, minus 24 over that many games isn't a ton, but it goes to the fact that the offense hasn't been able to help out the pitchers.
Well, David Carpenter will try to help himself. He's got to get back on track. His velocity's been fine, Joe, but as we were talking before the game, his aimage has been off just enough to cause him trouble.
His aimage, I like that.
And when we say he's missing his spot, we're not talking by a foot, but by an inch, maybe 2 inches. A lot of jam hits, but they've all added up. 20 hits in his last 9 1/3 innings. That's not like David Carpenter. And that one rocked Gerald Laird. It knocked him backwards, and he was caught by Jordan Baker.
Got the attention of Jeff Porter and Freddie Gonzalez.
Ooh.
Right off the glove and into the mask. And it did stagger him big time. Jordan Baker's a big umpire. He's about 6'5", 6'6". And it took all he had just to hold on to Gerald Laird.
Baseball has done and is doing a much better job of taking care of the catchers with regards to their treatment of, their awareness of concussion symptoms. Jared Saltalamacchia with the Marlins took a shot very similar to that, and it sent him to the DL for 7 days with a concussion. And that ties into the question we had about Willian Rosario's headgear that we saw a moment ago on the Rockies bench. That's a product called a cryo gear, and it is to cool the head, but that cooling not just for hot weather, it's also to help the brain recover from traumatic, if you will, injuries, foul balls, foul tips that rock the mask.
Interesting. I wonder if it's filled with ice. I wonder if the top of it has ice in it.
Yeah, that I don't know.
Oh my, now he got hit with a
backswing.
Yeah.
And Laird's down.
Not out. Jeff Porter was there quickly. Follow through, I believe, got him. As he's being tended to and has the concern of the whole dugout. Let's see if we can figure out what happened, where he got hit. Oh my. That got, I mean, it knocked the mask off, but that may have gotten him in the jaw. And from that angle to knock the mask off, it must have hit his face somewhere. He's rubbing his jaw. Walking off under his own power. That's a good sign. Still rubbing his jaw.
So the Braves will take Gerald straight into the trainer's room and check him out. Boy, back-to-back, I think it was back-to-back pitches. The foul ball straight to the mask. Maybe a pitch later. That.
I don't know if I've ever seen that before. I've seen guys get hit on the helmet, you know, on the back of the head on the helmet, but I don't know if I've ever seen one catch a catcher in the side of the face and mask.
Gerald uses the old style, traditional, if you will, catcher's mask. It doesn't offer the protection that the mask that Evan Gattis has.
It doesn't have the wraparound protection.
So Gattis will check in and take over for Gerald Laird here in the Colorado 8th inning. Count is a ball and 2 strikes to Corey Dickerson. As soon as we have information on Gerald, we'll of course pass it along. And Carpenter drills him and is going to get thrown out of the game. And Dickerson with a long look in at David Carpenter. And now the Rockies bench starts hollering at David Carpenter.
Well, David Carpenter is telling Dickerson, come on if he wants to. But David's been thrown out of the game. And now Walt Weiss is angry.
And now he's been thrown out.
And Paul Emmel is warning the whole Rocky dugout that you better not come out.
Now Walt Weiss is, I think, jawing at Freddie Gonzalez. He's also firing a parting shot or two at David Carpenter, who looks over his left shoulder at the Rockies bench.
Like I said, very even-keeled Walt Weiss.
So Carpenter's ejected. Walt Weiss has been ejected. Dickerson gets hit by a pitch after his long swing knocked Gerald Laird out of the ball game. And now Renee Latchman's coming over to ask for an explanation as to why Walt Weiss was kicked out of this game. Tom Runnels, the bench coach, there as well.
I don't think there's any question about the pitch. Got him on the hip. An immediate ejection, which kind of froze David Carpenter. He was a little surprised. And then Carpenter was letting Dickerson know, go on down to first base or come out and do something about it.
And I got to tell you, I salute the umpiring crew. Excellent job to walk over and tell the Rockies, don't go any further than the warning track. If you want to come out and stand out and defend your player and defend your manager, so be it. But that's as far as it went. And nobody in the Braves dugout came out onto the field after Carpenter was tossed.
They were posed.
Right.
And the teammates on the field were ready to make sure nobody got anywhere near David Carpenter, including Freddie Freeman, who was standing between them with his arms crossed. So Anthony Varvaro will come in and pitch and be given whatever time he needs to loosen up.
So a wild finish to an 8-3 Colorado game in the 8th inning as David Carpenter hits Corey Dickerson. Saturday, it's a full day of MLB action, beginning with the Twins taking on Miguel Cabrera and the Tigers on Fox Sports 1. Then it's baseball night in America on Fox. Mike Trout and the Angels take on the Braves. As you know, our MLB doubleheader begins Saturday at 4 Eastern on Fox Sports 1 and then continues at 7 Eastern on Big Fox. Dickerson stands at first while Anthony Favaro continues to loosen up. Giants now lead Washington. That's a 2-1 game. 6th inning at AT&T Park. As you see the numbers for Anthony Favaro, the Braves entered play today a game behind Washington in the East.
I will say this for David Carpenter. His aimage was pretty good on that last pitch, Chip.
Yes, yes it was. So what order was lost was quickly restored by Jordan Baker Gabe Morales, Chris Conroy, and Paul Emmel. Runner at first for Drew Stubbs. Let's see if Dickerson tries to exact some revenge by taking off early in this sequence. He's got a good lead. He's not going, and it's a strike. Joe mentioned earlier the big crowd today. He's exactly right. On a workday in Denver, 33,648 were here. That's far and away the biggest crowd of the 4-game series.
About 10,000 of them on the rooftop.
Two and two for Stubbs. In the Atlanta ninth, LaStella, Simmons, and Gaddis, we assume, will be coming up for the Braves. 8-3 Colorado. Broken bat. Simmons will flip to Tommy for one, and the turn to first will be late. There's the speed of Stubbs that we've talked about all series long. He avoids a double play and stands at first with one out for Culberson. I am not suggesting anything. I am not hoping that this is the case, but if Gerald Laird can't go for a while, Christian Betancourt is available down at AAA Gwinnett. And he's got a hot bat going right now. He's got 15 hits in his last 10 games for the Gwinnett Braves. Of course, we hope Laird's going to be day to day after a very painful 8th inning. Fly ball foul right side and into the second deck. Strike one.
Remember, Ryan Doman is the third catcher on this club, and he's already pinch hit and is out of the game.
Straight back. It's 0-2. Up the middle and into center field for a hit. With Upton playing deeply in center, Stubbs is able to go first to third without a play. And Culberson has a 2-hit game, a much needed 2-hit game for him. He was hitting 190 coming into today's play.
He couldn't have rolled it out there any more perfectly than that. I don't know if it went right over the bag, but close to it. Fastball that he fought off, didn't hit it particularly hard. But again, because it wasn't hit hard, no chance at all for BJ to come in and keep Stubbs from going to third base.
So first and third for DJ LeMahieu. There's only one out in the inning. And he skies one back to the screen foul. Brandon Barnes has grabbed a bat. He would be the next Colorado hitter. And bat for Rex Brothers. this one at time and got it. Another bounder up the middle. Simmons, though, at the bag. Steps and fires. Freeman couldn't hang on. Stubbs will score. Culberson forced out at second for the second out of the inning, and LeMahieu beats the Rap at first.
This is kind of like the play that Rutledge had when he couldn't get close enough to the bag to get anything on his throw. A little gymnastics there, too, by Andrelton to get off the throw and then jump over the runner.
9 runs, 10 hits for the Rockies today. 33 times this year they've tallied double digits in hits. That's hit number 11. Barnes off the bench with a single.
He's pretty good off in that role.
Braves have to wear it today. They've given up 9 runs and 11 hits. And Barnes takes over the major league lead with his 10th pinch hit.
Reminds me a little bit of Reed Johnson today with his socks and his stirrups and his pinch hit ability.
So here's the man that got it started. And he continues it. Charlie Blackmon with a shot down the right field line. That's going to score LeMahieu. Blackmon stands at second with a double. 3 extra base hits, 3 RBIs, and a couple of runs for Blackmon.
.43 RBIs out of the leadoff spot. He got a belt high pitch, didn't miss it. What a year he's having. My goodness.
Ten to 3. And Josh Rutledge hits. Well, these guys in this ballpark, they start hitting and get on a roll. They are almost impossible to slow down. And it's not just with home run balls. They just put it in play. Use the angles, use the depth of these fences to great advantage. And a strike evens the count.
When you see them get on these types of rolls, it makes you wonder how in the world they've lost 14 of their last 18 ball games.
Pitching, pitching, pitching. Now to find more of it. Back-to-back games pitched very well for their starters. Julius Chacin, 7 innings of shutout ball today. Tyler Matzik, 7 innings of 2-run ball in his major league debut yesterday.
Not just that, the injuries too.
Yeah.
Chatwood, Anderson. Starting staff has taken a beating just like their position players.
Rockies hitting .329 as a club at home. 90 points lower on the road. And that one up and in. And it got him. Rutledge hit by a high tight pitch.
Second night in a row. Second game in a row.
2-hit batsman for the Braves in this inning. No incident. And certainly no intent. You don't want to face Morneau, who hits again with the bases loaded.
He got his sleeve on his shirt.
A homer and a 2-run scoring single for Morneau in his last 2 at bats. And he had a mighty cut.
We were talking about David Carpenter needing to try and right his ship, get things going in the right direction. Same could be said for Anthony Barbaro. He did work a clean inning yesterday, but he's struggled a little bit and having a tough time this inning. He's given up a run. The other one belongs to David Carpenter.
Oh, 2 for Morneau. And he's down swinging on a good 95-mile-an-hour fastball. Fireworks in the Colorado 8th. They add to their lead with 2 more runs. It's 10-3 going to the 9th. Phillies and Angels coming up. The Miami Marlins right after the All-Star break, part of the big homestand for Atlanta, July 18th through the 28th. As always, Washington a good experience, August 8th, 9th, and 10th. One early visit by the Dodgers the 11th through the 14th. So spend your summer with the Braves at Turner Field. Get your tickets online at Braves.com. Before we start the 9th inning, let's revisit our AT&T U-verse trivia question. Eric Young Sr. is one of 2 players in Colorado history with 50 or more steals in a season. Name the other man to do it.
I'm going to stick with Ellis Burks.
Juan Pierre played here too, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
I'm going to go Juan Pierre.
Oh, got about old Willie.
Willie Tavares. 68 stolen bases.
He'd had some good seasons leading off for these guys and Houston.
So Nick Massett grabs a baseball and he'll go to work in the 9th inning. Before this inning began, just in case Colorado thought about paying back a Brave for Carpenter's plunking. After all, this is the last time the Braves and Rockies meet. Jordan Baker talked to Massett on the mound and I'm guessing said, any monkey business and you're going to be tossed. Yeah. A 7-run lead. Why mess around with it from Colorado's perspective?
Would be rather silly.
Ground ball towards second, and La Stella is out number 1. Braves had one big offensive game. They had one gigantic inning here the other night. A 7-run first, and Anderson Simmons capped it with the SunTrust shining moment.
And today the SunTrust shining moment is B.J. Upton going deep to left field for his 6th homer in a 3-run 8th.
downstairs for Andrelton Simmons. So Upton homers. Freeman's homered. Gaddis is homered. Simmons is homered in the series. And the Braves looking like they'll split the 4-game set with Colorado. Fly ball to center. And Drew Stubbs will catch that for the second out. I gotta tell you, it's gonna be a long flight back to Atlanta.
Yeah. Just hope Gerald's okay.
That's one reason why. Second reason why is did not pitch particularly well and did not hit well by Coors Field standards in this series. Evan Gaddis got hit. So he's ejected is Nick Massett. And I'm guessing either Renee Latchman or Tom Runnels is going to be tossed as well.
Right.
I'm not sure who took over the. Tom Runnels is the bench coach. And so Gaddis gets hit.
Paul Lemmel's coming in to tell Massett, what are you doing? Get out of here. I don't know who was running the show, if it was Runnels in Walt's absence, but anytime the pitcher gets thrown out after a warning, the acting manager in this case goes with him.
And Massett gets the high fives, and as much emotion as Colorado showed after their guy got hit, you figured this being the last chance that the Braves saw the Rockies, someone was going to get it, and it's Evan Gaddis, who also has been feasting on Colorado pitching.
Yeah, it's a little high for my liking on a payback, especially since Dickerson got it in the hip. So we'll wait for somebody else to come in and warm up again.
No jawing by Gaddis. He just dropped his bat and went to first base, and it was Tom Runnels who had the lineup card, so he's ejected as well as Nick Massett. And Colorado will bring on Matt Belisle and try to finish off the ninth inning. Get your tickets now for the Braves and the Angels. We're headed home after the game Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights. 3 night games over the weekend. 7:35 start on Friday. 7:10 start Saturday. 8 o'clock start, or whenever ESPN decides they want the pitcher to throw the baseball for Father's Day Sunday. C.J. Wilson's going to get the ball for the Angels in Game 1. Aaron Harang, as Joe mentioned earlier, will pitch for the Braves. Saturday night it'll be Gavin Floyd and Garrett Richards, and then Sunday a battle of left-handers, Mike Minor and Hector Santiago, who's 0-6 with an ERA over 4. So the Braves will head home in second place in the East. Miami is idle today. Marlins were shut out by Yu Darvish and the Texas Rangers. First shutout, complete game shutout for Yu Darvish in the big leagues for Texas yesterday.
Yeah, that surprised me.
Yeah. And the Giants are leading Washington. That game's in the 6th inning. Tom?
Yeah, I've got a question about Gaddis getting plunked. If it was a plan all along to hit the catcher who replaced Laird, or just hit the third guy up in the inning, why would not have Belisle already been warming up?
I think that would be a little too
obvious.
Too obvious, and it may be that just Nick Massett took that upon himself to do it, Tom. That even though he'd been warned, he waited till he got 2 outs and nailed him. So nobody knew what was going through his mind.
And oftentimes, if one team's shortstop gets hit, the other guy's shortstop gets hit, right? In this case, the left fielder was sometimes the left fielder got hit. Schaefer's due 4th in the inning. There's no guarantee he would come up, so.
No, I don't buy that.
No. So why Gaddis? Bouncing ball towards second. And that's good in the ball game.
He was the guy up with 2 out, nobody on, and it was not a threat to create a big inning.
big win for Colorado. They beat the Braves by a 10-3 final score. Braves split the series with the Rockies, wrap up the road trip at 3-4, and back home to take on the Angels tomorrow night.